Happy Sabbath, brothers and sisters. Happy Sabbath from us here at IUPR Bible Radio. Podcasting out of Little Rock, Arkansas, to the true saints of the Most High God. Now we're in Isaiah 14. And, to spare you all these words, we're going to be going into Lucifer. Who he was, according to the Bible. So, what I want to do is make this comment and get right into it. And again, we warn you of these false teachers. Because God will tell you what he wants you to know through his word. He doesn't need you to interpret his word for him. See, this is why it says, now we're coming back to Isaiah 14, verse 4. This is why it says, brothers and sisters, in Psalms 68, verse 11. Pay close attention to this. Psalm 68, 11. The Lord gave the word. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Great was the company of those that published his word. Not their own. Not a spin to it. Great will be the company that publisheth his word. You have to read the Bible. It's meant to be read. We can find out the interpretation as we read. And you're going to see in this podcast episode the difference when you read. So let's go back to Isaiah 14. Let's get right into it. Because, brothers and sisters, I'm feeling better. And prayers be with you all. If you get, a little under the weather, you get sick, or, blood pressure issues, diabetes issues, any issue. When we spread our hands and pray, if enough of us keep this law, as we start spreading our hands, we're going to be heard. Trust me. There's no way that we can continue to be blocked if we keep this law. The law is going to be the salvation of the people. And I don't understand. Hey, Psalms again. Psalms 119. Let me show you this. Psalms 119. Get right on down. It takes a while to get to it. Psalms 119. I want you to read this with me. Psalms 119, verse 23. Mine eyes fell for thy salvation. Do you see that salvation? And for the word of thy righteousness. The word. What was the word of his righteousness? Because, see, it says, my eyes fell for thy salvation. And for the word, the law, let's see what that word is. What is the word of his righteousness? Psalms 119, verse 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. So the commandments of God was the word of righteousness. The commandments of God was the word of righteousness that we read. Let's read it again. Psalms 119, verse 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. All thy commandments. So the commandments, they were the word. So Psalms 119 verse 123, my eyes fail for thy salvation. Salvation now. And for the commandments of thy righteousness. So God's righteousness is the law. Wait, hold on. Psalms 119 verse 166. David writes, Lord, I have hoped for thy salvation and done thy commandments. Whoa. David says, I have hoped for thy salvation and done your law and kept your law. You know, the salvation and the law is together. Salvation and the law is together here, David. David writes, the hope of the salvation was done through law. I'm not misinterpreting. You can see, I have hope for thy salvation. Is this a different type of salvation? I never saw S on salvation. It was only one. And done thy law. Wait a minute. Let's go down. Psalms 119 verse 174. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Look at how the law and salvation is together. The law and salvation is together. Remember that, brothers and sisters. I'm doing this for a reason. But let's get one more. Verse 155. Psalms 119, verse 155. Salvation is far from the wicked. Salvation is far from the wicked. Sunday keepers up under the hand of Edom is the church of the wicked. But let's go back up. Salvation is far from the sinner, the wicked. For they seek not thy statutes. That's why. Salvation is far from the sinner because they break your law. So, brothers and sisters, do we take the black marker and mark these verses out I just read because they don't agree with the theology of the Christian? No, they count. And if you try to blot them out, you are in blaspheme of the Holy Spirit. And that podcast episode is coming up. I'm going to prove to you that when you try to remove verses, ignore them, you're blaspheming the Spirit. Let's go back to Isaiah. Let's do this right. Isaiah chapter 14. You're going to see all of this as we go through Isaiah 14. I want to start in Isaiah 14 verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? So Babylon is an oppressor. The golden city ceased. It's ended. Now, before we go forward, now the Christians will say, this Babylon was Babylon prophesied 100 years before King Nebuchadnezzar became king. Isaiah is prophesying about them, the ancient Cushites. But I want you to keep in mind this too. Keep in mind, brothers and sisters, Psalms 137 and 7. Always keep, never, never, ever, ever let someone guide you. Excuse me. Without reading. And this is what these ministers try to do. They try to guide you without the words. Take over your mind. We're not going to do that. We know, let's go back up. We know, according to Psalms 137 and 7, Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. Remember, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So happy shall he be, the Israelite be, that rewardeth you as you have hurt us. So we know Edom is the daughter of Babylon, which means Edom is also Babylon. These ministers, what they try to do, Edom is also Babylon. You just can't say, oh, the Babylonians were the ancient Cushites. We see it right here. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. The children of Edom. In the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, you're looking at the daughter of Babylon. The next stage of confusion is right here. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, which means Edom is also a Babylon. If you're the daughter of something, you're the same. So a lot of times when the Bible prophesies about Babylon, it's not always talking about the ancient Cushites. It's talking about these people as well. These people. So when we go back up, Isaiah 14:4. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city cease? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked. So now, up here in verse 4, Babylon is the wicked. Wicked. So again, we must identify. We must identify. And this is one of the ones I like to use. Right here. And I like to go to Psalms 119. This clearly shows you who God defines as the wicked. We're going to read a couple of them. Psalms 119 verse 53 is my favorite. Horror has taken hold upon me because of the wicked. That forsake thy law. See, you're wicked because you forsake the law. Wickedness comes from forsaking God's law. That's a wicked man. A wicked man is a transgressor of the law. That's first. That's first. That's first. Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29. Verse 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression of the law goes up. But the righteous, which is the law keeper, shall see their fall. They're going to fall. Every time you see a prophecy, sinners are going to fall. That's who's going to fall. If you transgress God's law, you're going to fall. But you see, brothers and sisters, we're continuing to tell you. That's why we read everything. These teachers, it's about law and sin. Are the law keepers going to be punished when Christ returns, or the sinners? And you're going to see the sinners every time. The sinners are the transgressors of the law. But the Caucasian has twisted the Bible, distorted the Bible so much, and used fair speech so many places that he doesn't want you to see that it's about keeping law and sinning. Oh, you're under grace, the grace of Christ, the love of Christ, all the same gibberish. But you continue to see the Bible say that the transgressor is going to fall. Malachi. Malachi 4:1. Perfect example. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all them that do wickedly. Wickedly is sin. Sin shall be stubble. Do I got to show it to you again, brothers and sisters? Do we have to show it to you again? Let me read it for you as you are looking at the scene. Excuse me. Let me read it for you. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all them that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up. You're looking at the end. They're showing you the end in this movie. You just see a scene. You got to think past the scene. Look at what's going on. Saith the Lord of hosts, it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Dust. Nothing left. Nothing left. When they make these movies, don't think that they just create scenes. No, many of the scenes in these movies come out of the Bible. They come out of the Bible. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. All them that sin shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. You just watched an example. Those that sin are going to be crisp. What's the difference in a man that doesn't go to the brick building on a corner and goes to the club? What's the difference between him and a person that's in the brick building on the corner that goes to the club and breaks the law? No difference. If you go to the brick buildings on the corner, which they call churches, you're the same as the man that goes to the club, because you're not keeping the Sabbath. You're not keeping the holy days. You're the same. That's why we tell you, brothers and sisters, when we go to Proverbs, I continue to read this to you because I have to have you understand it. Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. It makes no difference. These people are dead. Bojangling on Sunday morning ain't saving nobody. They're the congregation of the dead. You know why? Because they have no understanding. They have no understanding. And where does understanding come from? Psalms 111 and 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. A good understanding have all they that keep his law. You're not going to have understanding without keeping of the law. You're not. If you're not keeping the law, no understanding. So, the congregation of the dead is set. Isaiah, let's get on into it, because I'm on minute number 22 and I'm nowhere near where I need to be. Isaiah 14, verse 5. The Lord has broken the staff of the sinner, those that break his laws, and the scepter of the rulers. So the rulers are the lawbreakers. Now God's talking about rulers now, the staff of the wicked, the scepter of rulers. He's talking about somebody higher. So again, I want to go to Job. Job 9, verse 24. This is what we want. Job writes this. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces thereof. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And he covereth the faces of the judges. If not, where and who is he? See the question mark. Who is he? So we're talking big here. We're talking big. Isaiah 14. Now I'm going to read on down. I'm not going to do every verse because there's a point I want to get to, but Isaiah 14 and 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruleth the nation. So he's a ruler of nations. In anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. Nobody can stop it. When this happens, the whole earth is at rest. The whole earth is at rest. Watch this. The whole earth. Now remember, when it says the Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of rulers, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest. Let's go to Psalms 94. Let's look at this rest. Psalms 94. Watch this. Psalms 94 and 12. Blessed is the man whom the Lord chasteneth. Blessed is the man whom the Lord chasteneth, O Lord, and teachest him out of thy law, that thou may give him rest from the days of adversity. The days of adversity, until the pit be digged for the wicked. Now, You got to think. There's volumes of rest, but what I want you to see is, blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, and teachest him out of thy law, that thou may give him rest. When you're taught out of the law, he's going to be the one that rests. That's what I want you to get you. I want you to see that part. I want you to see that part. Those that keep the law, those that are taught, chastened or chastened out of the law, are going to get the rest from the days of adversity until the pit be digged for the sinner. That's why Paul said, see, understand this rest. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, and teachest them out of thy law, that thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity, until the pit be digged for the sinners. That's why. Why do you think Paul said this? Romans 2. Verse 17. Behold, thou art called a Jew, and restest in the law, and makest thy boast of God, and resteth in the law. The rest is in the law. Paul just writing to these Jews in Rome, because a lot of you guys think that Paul is writing to Caucasian Romans. He's not. Paul is not writing to these people here. Paul's not writing to these Romans. He's writing to the Judeans in Rome. Always remember, when you go to Acts 16, I want you to see this. Acts 16. And even before I show you Acts 16, I want to show you John. Let's get this right here. John. The book of John, chapter 18, verse 31. Then said Pilate unto them, take ye him and judge him according to your law. So, you know, the Romans had nothing to do with the Judean law. Romans had nothing to do. These people, brothers and sisters, had nothing to do with the Judean law. Nothing. That's why Pilate says, judge him according to your law. The Jews therefore said unto him, it is not lawful for us to put any man to death, because Christ didn't sin. So it's something when I go to Acts. The Romans were never part of the law, and I go to Acts chapter 16 and verse 20. Pay attention. Now I want you to pay attention to what's being read here. Watch this. And brought them to the magistrates, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs. Now this is Paul. And teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. So it was against Roman law for the actual Romans to keep the custom of the Jews. This is what you got to look at. You got to see this. Now, I'm not going to say they all were the Caucasian Romans. Many of those black Judeans among them, they're the ones saying. But it was against Roman law to keep Judean practices. So what's going on? Remember, Acts 18. Acts 18 and verse 2. Now, I like to read verse 1 and 2 together. And it says, after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome. So there were Jews in Rome. Jews were all over Rome and came unto them. So the Jews were in Rome. So what? My thing is, when we go back to Romans 2, now you see why Paul wrote in Romans 2:17, behold, thou art called a Jew, because he's writing to the Jews in Rome, and resteth in the law. You guys rest in the law. Because that's where it was. The rest was in the keeping of the law. Like it says in Psalms 94 and 12. The rest was in the law. And makest thy boast of God. See, those that kept the law had the first part of God's rest. And here's the second. Let's go back to Isaiah. Did that for a reason. Isaiah chapter 14. Verse 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us. Since Babylon has been put down, nations are not warring anymore. These trees, they're talking about their nations. Their nations. So, verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Wait a minute. Hell from beneath. Hell from beneath. Now, let's take a look at this. It says, hell from beneath. Let's look at a couple of verses. I want to go to, what's this beneath? First, we want to go to Deuteronomy. All we have to do, brothers and sisters, is just go to the scriptures. We want to take a look at this beneath. Let's go to, I just wanted this one verse. Deuteronomy 28, verse 13. I'm talking about beneath. All right. We're talking about beneath. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only. And thou shalt not be beneath. Beneath who? Nations. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. See, when it says beneath who? Other nations. If you keep my commandments, you will not be beneath other nations. I want you to see this. So Proverbs chapter 15. Proverbs 15. Verse 24. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. See these proverbs? So the way of life is what? What is the way of life? Proverbs chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So the way of life is the commandments. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs, which comes from the commandments of instruction, are the way of life. So reproofs and instruction from the law is the way of life. That's why, again, Paul says in Romans, go back to Romans 2. Romans 2:18. And knowest his will, and approvest the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law. See, instruction came from the law. Paul is telling you what the instruction of God is. He's saying the same thing that they say the Old Testament. I'll say it to you like this. If Paul knows that the instruction comes out of the law, it is because he knew the law. So we go back to Proverbs. He's telling you, you're instructed out of the law. Proverbs 6:23. Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So the reproofs of instruction come from the law, and they are the way of life. So the way of life is the law. So we look at Proverbs 15 again. Verse 23. The way of life, which is God's law. This is the way of life, brothers and sisters. The way of life is this. It's the commandments. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. Beneath who? Beneath who? Beneath who? Proverbs 27. Verse 20. Hell and destruction are never full. So the eyes of man are never satisfied. But y'all to understand these parables, that they will not read these. Hell and destruction are never full. They're never full. So the eyes of man are never satisfied. So if hell and destruction are never full and the eyes of man are never satisfied, that's telling you that man causes hell. Man causes the hell. Habakkuk. Let's get some more on that. Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Wait a minute, proud man. A proud man. We got to understand, brothers and sisters, we look at who the proud are, according to Scripture. Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed, which do err from thy commandments. Now, I want you to notice everything ties back to the law. A proud man errs from the law. A proud man errs from the law. Look at what things mean. Psalms 119, verse 85. The proud have digged pits for me, which are not after thy law. Notice this man here is number one to cast down God's law. He's the one that has come up with these funny little doctrines. Oh, it's by the grace of God. It's at the cross, the finished work. He come up with this through time. The proud have digged pits for me, which are not after thy law. So the pits are dug for those that are trying to keep the law. That's who the pit is being dug for. He's trying to catch law keepers in the pit. That's who the proud is. Let's go back. Again, brothers and sisters, sinners. Habakkuk 2 and verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, a sinful man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. Hell. And as death. So death and hell. His desire, this man's desire is as hell and death together, and cannot be satisfied. Wait a minute. He cannot be satisfied. Proverbs. Look, we just read it. Proverbs. I'm showing you who's causing the hell. Proverbs 27. Proverbs 27 and 20. Hell and destruction are never full. So the eyes of man are never satisfied. Why? Because man causes the hell. He's causing the hell. That's why it says back in Habakkuk 2 verse 5. Yet also because he transgresseth by wine. He sins by wine. Philosophy. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, nor stays to himself, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Hell is going to be described. And is as death, and cannot be satisfied. He cannot be satisfied. But gathereth unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's how. When he desires hell and death, war, murder, theft, he heaps unto himself the nations and all people. That's why it said again. That's why it says again. I don't want you to forget the thought in Isaiah 14. I don't want you to forget the thought. Isaiah 14. Verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. The hell that was beneath him was the nations that he heaped up under him with war, murder, theft, and all other sins. Held from beneath him because he caused it. And that beneath was those nations, and it's going to say it. The hell were those nations that was beneath him because he was above all of them. Sound familiar? Do you not see what we call the United States of Babylon? Has all nations heaped up under him. And it's just not the United States, it's Russia. So the so-called Israelis over there now, the red dragon, the wicked Babylon. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It has stirred up the dead for thee. That's why it says stir up the dead. Dead. What two words are similar? Hell, dead. Watch this. Watch this. Let's go back to Habakkuk 2. You're going to see these same two words. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. His desire is as hell. For who? The people. And as death. Hell and death. And cannot be satisfied with hell and death. He's not satisfied. Hell and death is murder, war, theft. That's what it is. But gathereth unto himself all nations. He gathereth. How? By war, murder, theft. And heapeth unto him all people. It takes war to do that, folks. It takes killing to do that, folks. It takes theft to do that, brothers and sisters. That's why it's called hell and death. This man causes these conditions. That's why when we go back, and before we do that, I want to go back. I want to make this obvious. Isaiah 5, verse 13. Let's look at this hell again. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, captive, because they have no knowledge. And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell has enlarged herself, and her mouth, and opened her mouth without measure. And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp. And he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. Into it was hell. To descend into it was hell. Notice how it always is talking about down. See, this is why they have you believe that hell is under the ground. No, it's not. Hell is when people are in captivity under or beneath another nation. See, they had y'all thinking you have to die to go to hell. No. Read with me now. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge. Captivity. And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore therefore my people are gone into captivity. Therefore my people are gone into captivity. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself. When the people were in captivity, they were in hell. When the people were in captivity, they were in hell. See, these pastors, it's like the Bible's a fairy tale. Lot of movie makes and minds and thoughts and false images and false thoughts and philosophies in these people's teaching. Have you thinking that you have to die to go to this place? No, this is what, but we're reading to you. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself. It enlarged herself because the people went into captivity, meaning that anyone that is in captivity, anyone that is in captivity, under another, anyone that is in another, those that were in captivity, was in hell. So according to the Bible, under these people. See, Edom wants you to think that he has nothing to do. And we say it to you. If you steal land, is that not a sin? Oh, wait, let's go to Proverbs. I'm coming back to Isaiah 13, Isaiah chapter 5. But I want to go to Proverbs chapter 22. Proverbs 22. Verse 28. Remove not the ancient landmarks which thy fathers have set. Remove not ancient landmarks. Wait a minute. Proverbs 23, verse 10. Remove not the old landmarks, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. For their Redeemer is mighty, and he shall plead their cause with thee. In time, God's going to do it. Remember, remove not the old landmarks, enter and not to the field of the father. Did not these people in their time remove ancient landmarks? Did they not steal this land that they call the United States of America? Surely they stole it. Through treaties, they stole this land. Did they not understand this when they brought the Bible with them? Remove not the old landmarks of the North American, my forefathers, whom they called the North American Indians, the Aboriginals, our land. Brought the Bible, right? Remove not the old landmark. Enter not into the fields of the fatherless. They did that. They did it. These people did that. See, when you put it When you call out the evil, now you're a racist. You're a hatred. So just let you get away with the evil? Ah, boy, okay. Sounds like a hypocrite to me. So we go back to Isaiah. I want to go back to Isaiah 5. Get this understanding. Isaiah 5. See, they got all these Bible programs out here that these Caucasians have built, and they never want to talk about the reality of the Bible. Therefore, my people, which is Israel, are gone into captivity, slavery, because they have no knowledge. They don't have the knowledge of the word. And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself. Hell enlarged herself when the people went into captivity, which is slavery. So slavery is a form of hell. We're telling you. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp. And he that rejoiceth shall descend into captivity. It is hell, which is captivity. And when we go back to Habakkuk, I'm keeping this fresh on your minds. Habakkuk 2. Verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. See, when it says enlargeth his desire, pay close attention. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. He cannot be satisfied, but he gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, meaning he puts these nations in captivity up under him. And so when he wars to make nations captive, it is hell for those other nations because they're under him. Now remember, desire as hell and is as death, which means death comes with hell. That's why it says in Revelation. Let's go to Revelation. Revelation 6. And I wasn't planning on going here, but I just want you to see this. Revelation 6, verse 8. I just want to do this real quick. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, the horseman, and his name that sat on him was Death. Death and hell followed him. It's hard to separate the two. Death came by war, and hell, which is captivity, followed with death. There went war and then hell. And power was given unto them. The them are men that cause death and hell over a fourth part of the earth. The fourth part of the earth is where we're at now, the West, to kill with sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts, which are the nations of the earth. The beasts were the other nations. The beasts were kingdoms. So this pale horse, the pale horse, and his name that sat upon him was Death and hell, followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill. So death and hell Death and hell kill with the sword, war, like we've been telling you, with hunger. Famine caused famine. So there was war and famine. And to kill with a sword and with hunger and with death, other means of death. So you got to think. The power was to kill with war. Sword is war. Sword is war. So who has it? Wait a minute. Genesis 27. Genesis 27. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling. Wait a minute, let's go back up. Let's get 38. And Esau, the red child, the nation, the great red dragon, in Revelation 12:3 down. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, O my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and cried, wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. So I'm giving you a blessing. Here's the blessing. He's giving them a blessing now. So he says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling where you live shall be the fatness, the best places of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shall thou live. This was a blessing. And he says, by your sword, which is war, thou shalt live. Wonder why these people are so good in war? It was foretold already. Already foretold. And by thy sword, which is war, thou shalt live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou have the dominion, when you have your own kingdom coming up, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, we know who's going to live by the sword. War. You're looking at him. So, when we go back to Revelation, real quick, Revelation chapter 6, once again, in verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, pale, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. So death was the name of this horse, and hell followed him. And power was given unto them, power was given unto them over a fourth part of the earth to kill with war. A sword is war. A sword is war. And with hunger, create famine. And with death, there was other ways. And with the beasts, which are the kingdoms of the earth. The kingdoms that were under him. There were kingdoms under this horseman. But I wanted you to see death and hell together again. So when we go back to Habakkuk, I want you to get the full understanding of this. Hell is something that's created. But they want you to believe, oh, hell's underground when you die. No. And meanwhile, he gets away with all this murder. Has you looking one way, doing something the other. Yea, also because he sins by wine. He is a proud man. He is a sinner. Neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, which is captivity, which is war, which is the sword, and is as death. He's as death. He has the power to create hell, which is put other nations in captivity, and cannot be satisfied. He's not satisfied, which means that if you think there's death now, it's going to be more. It's just a delight. It's the delight of the sinner. But gathereth unto him all nations. See that? And heapeth unto him all people. That's how he creates the hell, when he gathers the nations with war, and heapeth unto the people with war, and rules over them. Why do you think it said this? Let's go back to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14. Real quick. Verse 7. Six, he that smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations, nations in anger, is persecuted by who? Christ. And none hindereth, nothing, no one can stop it. The whole earth is at rest. Now when he's gone, the earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. When this man that caused hell is taken out by Christ, the earth is going to be at rest. Let's go back. Isaiah 14 and 9. Hell from beneath, the hell is the death and destruction that he has created. That's why it says hell is beneath thee, is moved to meet thee at thy coming. Thy coming, meaning that the wicked is going to fall. The coming to the nations, they're going to fall. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even the chief ones of the earth. The dead, when it says the dead for thee, it is talking about the same death. Death comes with hell. That's why the dead for thee, even the chief ones of the earth, it has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So somebody is going, the wicked. This is a parable of Babylon, the wicked. This is not talking about an angel. This is talking about Babylon, the wicked. The wicked. Remember, they try to make it an angel. No, it's not. It's not an angel. Isaiah 14 and 4. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Babylon. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked. The wicked is Babylon, a people, a nation, rulership. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked. Remember Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Put it together. That's why there's precepts. And the scepter of the rulers. So the wicked were rulers. Babylon. Watch this. All they shall speak and say unto thee, the dead, that was the hell that you caused, those nations that were beneath you, hell, art thou also become as weak as we? Oh, now you're weak. Art thou become like unto us? Are you like us now? So it seems like Babylon, the wicked, lost their power and was cast down. Pay attention now, because we're coming to what we need. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So now your reputation is what? Why does it say worms? Because worms are on the ground. They're in the ground. You've become low now, Babylon. Babylon, you have fallen. Now you're at the level of the lowest. Now watch this. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground? See, it's saying it. Which did or didst weaken the nations. You, wicked Babylon, you weakened the nations, but now you have fallen from heaven. Now I want you to look at this now. Remember, we told you that, and you have to understand what we're saying. 1 Kings 8. Verse 27. But will God indeed dwell on earth? Behold, the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have builded? The heaven one and heaven two of heavens three cannot contain thee. There are three heavens, not one, three. And again, we're taking a look at God talking to the Israelites in Leviticus. Because I'm going to show you something. Leviticus 26. Understand the parable. The law helps you understand the parable. And we're going to take a look at a form of heaven. There's a form of heaven. God tells Israel. Now, this is what's going to happen if they don't keep his laws. Leviticus 26:19. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron. Heaven, your heaven, as iron, and your earth as brass. I will make your heaven. The heaven was the power. The nation with the power had heaven. Stay tuned, brothers and sisters. I'm going to take a short break. All right, brothers and sisters, I am back. Now, carefully examining this is what I want you to do. Now, again, we're at Leviticus 26:19. It says, and I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven. The heaven was the power as iron, and your earth as brass. Now, remember, the heaven was the power. I want to go back to Isaiah 14. Isaiah chapter 14. Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now, remember, from heaven. Let me show you this same verse in Lamentations. Now, this is the Lamentations of Jeremiah. Let me read this to you. I'm going to read two verses, but I want you to pay attention to verse 1. It says, how hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with the cloud of his anger, and has cast down from heaven. Hold on. And has cast down from heaven. Now, was Israel up in the third heaven? Did God cast the whole 12 tribes of Israel out of the third heaven? No. The heaven was power. It looks exactly the same as Isaiah 14, verse 12. How has the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. From heaven, cast down from heaven unto the earth. So heaven means rulership. Not just, and see, this is how they trick. Let's go back to Isaiah. Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground? Remember, God told him, Lamentations 2:1, he has cast Israel from heaven to the earth. The earth is the ground, which did weaken the nations. Now, was an angel cast out of the third heaven to the earth, or was Babylon cast out of its power to the ground? See, that's what you got to look at. You have to look at that. The Christians, they want you to believe that God cast Lucifer or an angel out of the third heaven. No. God cast Babylon from their power. They fell from heaven. The power. That's the truth. When it says, thou hast fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, let's go to this. Now, here we go. Lucifer. What does it mean? Now, this is according to the Christian. A name, traditional, a name, traditional in Christianity, not the Bible, for the leader of the devils, an angel who was cast from heaven into hell. The Bible it says cast to the ground, not into, see, that's what I mean. See how it works? They want you to believe hell is in the earth somewhere, some mystical place, but hell is nations that are in captivity under a nation, one ruler. This is the fallacy of Christianity for the leader of the devils. The Bible, pay attention. Let's go to the Bible. 1 John 3 verse 8. He that committeth sin is of the devil. For the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. The Bible says, he that committeth sin, he that transgresses the law, is of the devil. But watch this. Whosoever is born of God does not commit sin. For his seed, which is the word, remaineth in him. The seed is Luke 8:11, the word. He cannot sin because he's born of God. And this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. The devil has children. Seed. The children of the devil. Whosoever is a man doeth not righteousness which is in the law is not of God, neither is he that loveth not his brother. And land stealing proves that they don't love anybody. Whosoever doeth not righteousness are the children of the devil. So when you look at stuff like this, when you see stuff like this, brothers and sisters, a name traditionally in Christianity for the leader of the devils, an angel, they always take it off themselves. But let me read it. An angel who was cast from heaven unto hell. It didn't say hell, it said to the ground. Because he rebelled against God. Look, because he rebelled against God. Now, where is that in the Bible? Where, look, brothers, we know how to read the Bible. We know how. Where was this rebellion, and where could we're telling you, it's only a certain amount of verses they can use, but I'm confused because, again, in 1 Samuel 16, 1 Samuel 16:14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. It does not say an evil spirit from the devil or an evil spirit from Satan troubled him. It says an evil spirit from God troubled him. Again, it does not say an evil spirit from the devil troubled him. It says an evil spirit from God troubled him. I want you to pay attention to verse 22, just to go. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, again, the devil, the evil spirit that was on Saul from God. This evil spirit was not from the devil. God is controlling this evil spirit. Evil spirit from God was upon Saul, and David took the harp and played with the harp. So Saul was refreshed as and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. When David played the harp, the devil left Saul that God sent. Again, Job. I'm not reading a war between angels. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that. What I'm reading, look at what you're actually reading, brothers and sisters. Psalm 78. Psalm 78. Verse 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation, and trouble. Talking about God now. By sending evil angels among them. God sent evil angels among them. Watch. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, which these angels, these evil angels, caused. Pestilence and death. God control. Where's the war? If there were evil angels, they're doing God's bidding, not Satan's. So when the chief, as they say, when the captain of the angels come up against God, Job 2. Job 2, verse 2. And the Lord said unto Satan, here's the Lucifer, the light bearer. From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro, and in the earth, and walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a man is actually perfect, and an upright man, a lawkeeper, that feareth God, lawkeeper, and escheweth evil. And still he holdeth fast to his integrity. There's a lot of words and all of, let's look at this. Now, we're going to take a look at upright, fear God, and integrity. Upright, fear God, and integrity. Let's look at Psalms 119. We're looking at this upright first. Psalms 119. Verse 7. I will praise thee with uprightness of heart, when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. The righteous judgments are the laws. And when you have learned them, you can praise God uprightly. See, upright? So uprightness comes from the law. Psalms 112 and 1. Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in his commandments. To fear the Lord. To fear the Lord is to keep the law. To fear the Lord is to keep the law. 1 Kings 9. I want to read verse 4. Talking to Solomon. And if thou wilt walk before me as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, said the same thing in Job, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments. So to walk in integrity is to keep the law. To be upright means to keep the law. To fear the Lord means to keep the law. And to be in integrity is through the law. This is how you prove it. So when we go back to Job, we know why. See, Job Job 2. Verse 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man? An upright man came through the law, one that feareth God. The upright man, Psalms 119 and 7, came through the law, one that feareth God, Psalms 112 and 1, kept the commandments, and escheweth evil, and still holdeth fast his integrity, which came out of the law, 1 Kings 9 and 4. Although thou movest me against him. The Bible, God told Satan, you movest me against him to destroy him without cause. Satan moved God to destroy Job without cause. Satan couldn't just destroy Job. He had to have permission. Where's the war? I mean, you look. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath he will give for his life. For his life. But put forth Satan told him to put forth your hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse, which is sin, thee to thy face. If you do this, he's going to sin. Satan told God to put forth his hand. Satan couldn't do it himself. And touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. God gave him to Satan. Where is the war? Satan is in subjection to God. The top angel is in subjection. So what happened? So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. So Satan made Job sick. God gave Job into the hands of Satan. Satan didn't just attack Job. Seemed like if Satan had the power to do what he wanted, he would have just did it. No, he don't. He's in subjection to God. Nothing is coming out of order here. Nothing. And when we look at it again, see, I want to go back because it was one I went here, but let's go to Genesis 1 and 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? Now I went to chapter 2 first, but I should have went to chapter 1. But we're going to read it twice. And there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and eschews evil. So he's a law keeper. And Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God, which is keep the commandments, for naught? Does he fear you for naught? Hast thou not made a hedge about him, protected him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands. He's blessing the law keeper, and his substance is increased in the land. But watch this. put forth thine hand now. You, Satan says, you put forth your hand and touch all he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. How was God going to put forth his hand to touch him? By sending Satan. Watch this. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. I'm going to let you have him, Satan. You can't touch him without me letting you. I don't see a war anywhere in the Bible. God controls evil angels. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Now, Satan, I don't want to go into all of it, but I want to read this real quick. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians, so Satan took men and fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain thy servants with the edge of the sword, war. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So God allows Satan to begin to bring this up on Job, and Satan used men. Satan didn't go attack Job himself. Satan used men, a nation, to attack them by war. War. This thing can't happen without men. It can't. I just want you to see. The Sabians fell on them. When Satan attacked Job, the first thing he attacked was what he had. And what he had, the Sabians fell upon them and took them away captive, yea, and have slain thy servants with the edge of the sword because of war. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So God uses various ways. But notice, Satan, the accuser, was sent from God to do this. Where's the war? War means that I'm against you, Lord. Everything you do, I'm against you. Pay attention. Let's go back to Isaiah. God controls evil. Now see, let's go back. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Let's go back. A name traditionally in Christianity for the leader of the devils. An angel who was cast from heaven into hell because he rebelled against God. I wish y'all would show me this rebellion. I don't see it. We just saw in Job 1 and Job 2 and in Job 1, God ordered Satan to do what he wanted. I didn't see no rebellion. God sent the evil spirit unto Saul. 1 Samuel 16:14. I mean, brothers and sisters, again, where I'm going back over these verses. 1 Kings 22. There's not one angel that has stepped. We will not read of an angel that has stepped out of the way of God's order. Not one. It's not going to happen. But watch this. Now this is Ahab and Jehoshaphat. Ahab is the king of Israel. Jehoshaphat is the king of Judah. And they have brought Micaiah, a prophet, before them both. Because Ahab wants Jehoshaphat's help and taking over Ramoth Gilead. He wants this land. Watch this. And the king of Israel said unto Josephat, did I not tell thee that he is Micaiah, would not prophesy, that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne. He said, he saw with his eyes the Lord sitting on his throne. That's what he's caught a vision of the Lord sitting on his throne. He can see it. And all the hosts were the angels of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. So he's got angels in the right and angels in the left. All the gods are together. Now pay attention. The Lord said, who will persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on this manner. So angels are having a discussion of what to do. God is leading this. What this is evil now. God he's leading this. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. So a spirit has come forth to God and says, I will go down and persuade. I will do it. So I'm going to go commit this evil. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit, a devil, in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. God said, go forth and do it. Go do it. Where is the war? Again, God has sent an evil angel to the prophets of Ahab, like he sent to Saul. We don't see a war, brothers and sisters. The Caucasians made that up. See, this is how come when you read stuff like this, a name traditionally in Christianity for the leader of the devils, the angels, an angel who was cast from heaven to hell because he rebelled against God. Have you saw it? They cannot come up with a verse that said that. Lucifer is usually identified with Satan. See, they identify Lucifer with Satan. And Satan did the request of God in Job chapter 2 and Job chapter 1. You read it. There's no war. The name Lucifer, which means bearer of light, or the morning star, refers to his former splendor as the greatest of the angels. He was the greatest of the angels. I thought the greatest of the angels was him. Let's go. I want to show you this is strictly idolatry here, brothers and sisters. Idolatry. Because when I look at Genesis 48, verse 16, the Bible says this. Jacob is talking. the angel which redeemed me from all evil. Brothers and sisters, I want you to take a look at that capital A. The capital A is there for a reason. This capital A is the chief of the angels. That's why it says a capital A. Angels are not always in a capital A. This is a specific angel. And he was able to redeem Jacob. When did he redeem him? Back in Genesis 32. 30 down. 28 down, I would say. When he wrestled with him. That angel was God. Wait, roll on. Exodus. See, we have to learn, brothers and sisters. We have to learn. We're taking a look at this chief angel. Exodus 23. Verse 20. God, here's God now. Behold, I send an angel before thee. An angel. Notice it's the capital A again. So this is the chief angel. We're not going to read about Lucifer or whatever being a chief. No, we're reading about the chief angel now. Capital A. Same angel Jacob mentioned in Genesis 48:16. And he sent an angel, capital A, before thee, to keep thee in the way, to bring thee unto the place which I have prepared. God talking now. Beware of him, obey his voice, provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions. Wait a minute. This angel, let me put it back up. This angel will not pardon your transgressions. I thought God only had the power to pardon transgression. Let's read this again. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way. Capital A. This is a prime angel to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, this angel, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he, this angel, chief angel, will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. My name is in him. My name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies and an adversary unto thine adversaries. Thine adversaries now. Watch this. Exodus 23 verse 23. For my angel shall go before thee and bring thee into the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites, or the Perizzites, and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. So God is sending a powerful leading angel. A powerful leading angel before Israel to lead them into the land. Isn't that interesting? That's interesting. Now, wait a minute. I want to go to Exodus. Let's look at this. Exodus 34. And 9. Exodus 34 and 9. Watch this. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity, Lord, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance. So who is going to lead them? The Lord. This angel was the Lord. Revelation. I'm just doing this real quick because I've kept you too long. Revelation 3, verse 14. Pay attention. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, and unto the angel, the messenger of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. The beginning of the creation of God was that angel. Because angels were created. Psalms. We're going to show you angels were created. Psalms 148. Verse 1. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord from the heavens. Praise him in the heights. Praise ye him, all his angels. Praise ye him, all his hosts. Praise ye him, sun and moon. Praise him, all ye stars of light. Now remember, the angels were the hosts, all the hosts of heaven up in 1 Kings 22. Remember that. Praise him, ye heavens of heavens, heaven of heavens. Remember, it's more than one heaven. And ye waters that are above the heavens. Water, space, those things. Let them praise the name of the Lord, for he commanded, and they were created. Who? Let me show you again. Praise ye him, all his angels. Praise ye him, all his hosts. Verse 5. Let them praise the name of the Lord, for he commanded and they were created. God created angels. Angels are not the same strength as God. They're God, but they're not the same strength. That's why it says here in Revelation 3, Revelation 3:14, and unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. The beginning of the creation of God was the angel that redeemed Jacob. And the angel that redeemed Jacob, Genesis 48. Genesis 48. Verse 16, the angel, this was the very first angel that was created. That's why it's emphasis, capital A. This was the beginning of God's creation. And this angel was none other than Christ. Lucifer was never the chief of the angels. Christ was. The angel which led them in the wilderness, this is why we continue to tell you. Exodus 23, verse 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. An angel, capital A, same one that redeemed Jacob. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he, this angel, will not pardon your transgressions. So this angel had the power to pardon transgressions? I thought only God had the power to pardon transgression. You guys need to pay attention to what I'm saying. This is mystery mode. For my name, which is my law, is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies and an adversary unto thine adversaries. For my angel shall go before thee and bring thee into the land, into the Amorites, and bring thee into the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites, or the Perizzites. I have so much trouble pronouncing that. The Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. So this angel is going to lead them into war to kill these nations. Now, I'm going to show you again. He's mentioned 4 times. Exodus 32, verse 33. And the Lord said unto Moses, whosoever has sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. Therefore now go, lead the people unto the place which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, mine angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them. That angel that is going to go before them, who was it? Pay attention to the details. Exodus 34, that angel that was going to go before them. Exodus 34. Verse 9. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Lord, let my Lord. Notice, brothers and sisters, this Lord is not in all caps. This Lord is capital L, lowercase O-R-D. That means something. This is another Lord. This isn't talking about the Father here. This is talking about Christ. It's letting you know. That's why the Bible says in Psalms 110, verse 1, a Psalm of David. The Lord, in all caps, said unto my Lord. Capital L-O-R-D. 2 Lords in this verse. See how this Lord is written? Capital L, lowercase O-R-D. Is not the same as the capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D. That's a different Lord. So when it says the Lord said unto my Lord, there are 2 different Lords here. So let's go back to the Lord Moses is talking to in Exodus. Exodus 34. And verse 9. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Lord. That's the Lord that sits at the right hand of the other Lord. See, this is a different Lord. Capital L-O-R-D, lowercase. Let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquities. So this Lord that sits at the right hand of the other Lord can pardon iniquities as well. Pardon our iniquities and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance, your inheritance. And he said, behold, I make a covenant before all thy people. I will do marvels such as has not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation, and all the people among them which thou art shall see the work of the Lord, the other Lord, through me. You're going to see it through me. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. It's going to be terrible. Observe to do that which I, that Lord, command thee this day. Behold, I will drive out before thee the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Hivite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. I will do it. But in verse Exodus, remember, but in Exodus 23, Exodus 23, verse 23, it says, for mine angel shall go before thee and bring thee into the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. This angel, letting you know that the angel with the capital A was the Lord that sat at the right hand of the Lord. That angel was Christ. That was the chief angel, not Lucifer. That's why it's with a capital A. But see, these, when you go back down here, a name traditionally in Christianity for the leader of the devils, an angel who was cast out from heaven into hell because he rebelled against God. Lucifer is usually identified as Satan. The name Lucifer, which means bearer of light. Remember that. Or morning star. It doesn't mean morning star. It's just bearer of light. Because Christ is the morning star. Refers to his former splendor as the greatest of the angels. He was not the greatest. Christ was. But that angel was also Lord, God. They don't understand. You have to read through that angels were God. They were God. We've proven this. We've proven this in the book of Judges. Judges 13. The book of Judges, chapter 13, verse 18. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, why askest me thus after my name, seeing it is secret? And Manoah took the kid of the meat off, the kid goat with a meat offering, bread offering, and offered it upon a rock unto the Lord. And the angel, just a plain angel, did wondrously. And Manoah and his wife looked on. For it came to pass, when the flame went up toward heaven from off the altar, that the angel of the Lord ascended into the flame of the altar. This angel just jumped into the flame and disappeared. And Manoah and his wife looked on it and fell on their faces to the ground. Watch what Manoah says. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. And Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto his wife, we shall surely die because we have seen God. See, the angel they looked at looked exactly like God. He was God. That was the angel. See, what you don't understand, brothers and sisters, is that any angel that appears before them is God. They're eternal. They're spirit, as he is. But there were chief angels made, and we just read one of them. The angel that led Israel was the chief angel. We don't know what these Christians are talking about. Just Lucifer making it up. You didn't see what was the war? Hey, you got show Revelation 12:7. You can cut that. There's not many places they have. Isaiah 14 is one of them. See, let's go back so we can get this over. Isaiah 14, verse 12 again. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now the heaven he fell from, was it up at the third, or did he fall from power? Remember, keep the thought Keep the thought. Keep the thought of Lamentations 2 and 1. Same thing. How hath the Lord, there's that Lord, capital L, lowercase O-R-D, covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud of his anger, and cast down from heaven. Did he cast down Zion from the third heaven to the earth? No. When it says he cast down from heaven, he took their power and he cast them down unto the earth. And remember not his footstool in the day of his anger. It's the same thing in Isaiah 14. It's the same thing in Isaiah 14. Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Who is he calling Lucifer? You got to understand the context. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked. He's calling the wicked Lucifer. He's not calling an angel Lucifer. He's calling the wicked Lucifer. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Which didst weaken the nations. Now, it says, O Lucifer, son of the morning. So, again, Lucifer means bearer of light. Okay, now, Lucifer means bearer of light. So, who is he calling Lucifer again? The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked. He's still talking about the wicked. Job 18. Let's see if the wicked bear light. Job 18. Job 18. Verse 4. He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? And shall the rock be removed out of its place? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out. How does the wicked have light? The light of the wicked shall be put out. The wicked have a light. The wicked bears a light. The sinners bear a light. The light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. Hold on now. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle, which is this light, shall be put out with him. So the wicked have a light. Lucifer means light bearer. Light. Proverbs. Proverbs 13. Verse 9. The light of the righteous rejoiceth. So the light of the law keepers rejoiceth. But the lamp, which is the light of the wicked, shall be put out. So notice, brothers and sisters, the light of the wicked. The light of the wicked. The wicked have light as well. The wicked bear light as well. You're seeing this. Proverbs, let's get one more. Proverbs 24. Proverbs 24, verse 20. For there shall be no reward to an evil man. There shall be no reward to an evil man. And the candle, which is the light of the wicked, shall be put out. Notice, the light of the wicked shall be put out. So when we go back to Isaiah, remember Isaiah 14, you let these people trick. We let these people trick us, brothers and sisters. We got to get back on it. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of rulers. This is a proverb against the wicked, which was Babylon. In verse 4. So Babylon, Psalms 137. Psalms 137. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. And the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. See, Edom was also Babylon. Isaiah 14. Verse 4. And thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Watch this, Babylon now. And say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked. So the wicked were Babylon. Wicked. And the scepters of the rulers. So this is about Babylon, the wicked. This parable. And verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? He's talking. Lucifer is the wicked in verse 5, not an angel. This is how they've been tricking us. Putting it off from themselves and making up a story. Oh, it's the chief angel. No. Lucifer is the wicked, and he bears a light. Lucifer is light bearer. This wicked bears a light. Son of the morning. What makes him the son of the morning? What makes him the son of the morning? Micah. Micah 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, sin again, and work evil upon their beds, sin again. When the morning, that's how he's the son of the morning. When the morning is light, they practice it. What? Iniquity. Because it is in the power of their hands. That's how they of the morning, because they have power. Woe to them that devise sin and work sin in their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And they covered fields, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. You're looking at the people that did it right now. No way they can escape. They have to take it face value. So we go back to Isaiah 14. Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Who weakened the nations? This man right here. He did, through war. From the ancient pictures that are at the top to the modern day pictures that are at the bottom. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into rulership. It wasn't no ascending to the third heaven. For I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Now, when he says, I will set my throne above the stars, who are the stars? Genesis 37. We keep telling you, bros, Genesis 37. And we're going to show you an example of him doing it. This is Joseph. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun, which was Jacob, and the moon, which was his mother, and the 11 stars. The 11 stars was his 11 brothers. He was the 12th star. The 11 stars, the tribes were the stars, made obeisance to me. Now watch, his father understood, and he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this dream thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother, the sun and the moon, and thy brethren indeed come bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? The stars were the tribes, the children of Israel. Daniel 8. We're going to show you an example. Daniel 8. Daniel 8. And we're going to prove to you this is Israel. Daniel 8, verse 10. And it is the Greeks' top left corner. That's a picture of the Greeks. And the Romans, the same people. And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground. Who were those stars he cast to the ground? The southern kingdom of Israel. They were the stars. They were the stars. We're showing you who the stars are. To the ground and stamped upon them through war. He stamped upon the star. He hasn't taken no star from way up in space and brought it down. Parables, brothers and sisters, that stars were the children of Israel. Remember, let's go back. Let's go back to Isaiah. Chapter 14. And again, I'm going to read this. For thou hast said in thine heart, the wicked, I will ascend into heaven, into power. I will exalt my throne. That's why it says throne, above the stars of God, the children of Israel. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. What is the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north? Psalms 48. Psalms 48. Verse 1. A song and song for the sons of Korah. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, and the mountain of his holiness. Now watch this. Beautiful for a situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion on the sides of the north. The sides of the north. The city of the great king. So the sides of the north. It's talking about Zion. Now, the north. But remember, in First Chronicles 28, verse 8. I want you to look at this. Now, therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the congregation of the Lord. The congregation of the Lord was Israel. In the audience of our God, keep and seek for all the commandments of the Lord your God. Keep and seek for all the commandments of the Lord. You seek for the law, that ye may possess the good land and leave it for an inheritance for your children after you forever. So the congregation of the Lord was Israel. So that's Isaiah 14. Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven to power. I will exalt my throne above Israel. The stars of God was Israel. I will sit on the mount, upon the mount of congregation. That's in Israel. The mount of the congregation was Israel and the sides of the north. Those that sat on the sides of the north was Israel. But this man exalteth his throne above the stars, which were the children of Israel, who sat on the sides of the north. He exalted his throne into heaven. Because remember, Israel was in heaven too in Lamentations 2:1 till God sent them out of power. They have, you think this heaven is the third heaven. No, it's power. Now, when he says, and I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, we're talking about space travel, brothers and sisters, the heights of the clouds. I will, when he goes above the clouds, that's where airplanes, rockets, shuttles. I will be like the Most High God. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. Hell. To the sides of the pit, to the sides of the pit, to the sides of the pit. What did we read that at? Psalms. It all, these prophets saw it. Psalms 94. Verse 12. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, that teachest him out of thy law, that thou mayest give him rest, those that are taught out of the law, and from the days of adversity, captivity, until a pit be digged for the wicked. Pit be digged, a pit be digged for the wicked. Pit. Isaiah. See, it's saying that the prophets saw the same thing. Isaiah 14. Verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High God, because only he's above the clouds. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. Is hell the place of burning fire? Or will he himself go into captivity like it says in Revelation 13:10? Y'all got to think about this. To the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Come on now. We're never talking about an angel. We were talking about a man all along. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? The man. Lucifer in verse 12 was the man in verse 16. We've been telling you, Lucifer was the wicked. The wicked bear the light. Job 18:5-6, Proverbs 13:9, and Proverbs 24:20. This is talking about a man all the time, and this is the man it's talking about. He set his nest above the children of Israel. Those were the stars of God, and the sides of the north, as it says in verse 13. It's not talking about no angels doing this. No, this is a man. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven to power, and I will exalt my throne. My throne is power. See, it says throne. Above the stars, the children of Israel, of God. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will sit there over your people. That's why Christ said this. in Luke 24. No, I was wrong. Luke 21, verse 24. And they is the Jews, the southern kingdom, shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, captivity. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. It ends. That's the same thing as saying in Isaiah 14:13. So, brothers and sisters, when you look at who Lucifer wasn't an angel. It was the wicked, a nation of people, a man that bear light, the light of the wicked. When it says thou art fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, it's not talking about an angel. It's talking about the wicked in verse 5. This is who is to. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the wicked bear the light. But God prophesied that it would be put out. And that's what this means. Thou art fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. The morning is because of iniquity, sin, Micah 2:1. Thou art cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations. A spiritual demon didn't weaken the nations. The children of Satan did. This is the devil the Bible speaks of. This is Lucifer. See, when you get commentary like these, where do you see the war? I never saw it. Did you see a war? We read verse after verse that said angels, whether they were good or evil, they were submissive to God because God created them. And the real chiefness, the real chief angel was Christ, not Lucifer. You see how these people do? Bearer of light. Who beareth the light? The wicked. Lucifer was none other than Esau. And he's going to be cut down that did his weaken the nations. These people will do anything to get the blame off of them, that they may continue to deceive. But we're going to catch them at every corner. All praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. I'm your host, the Apostle Reuben of IUPR Bible Radio, podcasting out of Little Rock, Arkansas, to the true saints of the Most High God. IUPR Bible Radio is a teaching platform. Our teachings are for educational purposes only. We teach from both testaments and believe that God never changed his nature and still is the God of judgment. Sunday so-called Christians teach a changing God, but Scripture and New Testament verses disagree with their theory. Like if Satan was that angel that fell from heaven. No, theories. We in our podcast intend to prove that the error of the Christians is intentional, whether it be doctrine, false feasts that cannot be proven in the Bible, or any other action that is intended to deceive the true children of Israel. We are not about senseless debates which will not change minds but cause more confusion. And our motto, 1 Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things, hold fast to that which is good, and that which is good is that law. Deuteronomy 6, verse 17, 18, Romans 7 and 12. With that, brothers and sisters, we hope that you have a good Sabbath day, restful. And we pray for one another. It's best. Just continue to pray for one another. We're going to have to live through these pains and sufferings, brothers and sisters, that we really put on ourselves. But by banding together and again praying for one another, let's hope we'll be okay. Because that's the greatest thing in the world, hope. With that, brothers and sisters, all praise to the Most High. I'm your host, the Apostle Reuben. May God be with us.